All right, everybody, welcome back to our Tri-State Training Day podcast. Mindy Tibbs, the legend, a regular guest on our show who's constantly breaking records, FFL Believe, Executive Vice President, newly minted. What's up, Mindy?
What's up, Mark?
What's
You
going
better close
on?
us out and don't stop believing, or it's not a podcast without it.
Don't worry. I'll make sure I get it in there. Don't worry.
Thanks for having me. I feel like I need a punch card at this point. I love it. I never get tired of it.
Dude, 539 families in the month of August. Record-breaking month. How does it feel to be breaking records like every other month?
You'll be proud of me for saying it's actually 5:59, Mark.
Oh, wow.
Not that I don't have my whiteboard in front of me, but I do have this today just for you, my papers.
Not that you're counting.
I'm not counting.
But you should be counting.
It's insane. Today they submitted 210 families in 1 week. It just, yeah, it's pretty insane. That's the only words. I mean, you've talked with us from the start, and I'm honored to be able to be on here to track our development, and it's really cool to look back on. And so I'm sure one day we'll look back on this just like you look back on Tri-State and you remember these new stages as well. So I'm honored to be here for the ride, and thank God for God and energy drinks these days, because I'm running both of them.
Dude, so at this pace, 210 families. What's so good about this is the growth, not just numerical growth, because if it's growing vertically, Mindy, that means it's growing horizontally. That means you're growing within. So talk to us about the growth. What are you seeing? There's got to be a lot of things changing, things you have to adapt to, things that you're learning that as you're going. What's happening out there?
I'm always a big believer in, from the core in the very beginning, focusing on helping the agent help the most amount of families. If they can help the most amount of families, they're helping others. And in return, they're also helping their own families. I'm also a huge believer in obviously posting on social media. I've said that for going on 3 years now, constantly posting. Everybody's looking at our team now, Mark, and they're like, what'd you do? What's the secret sauce? And it's like, you don't want to know the secret sauce because you're too impatient for it. Like, the secret is consistency, which I know you're tired of hearing that word, right? Put it on a t-shirt. Consistency and time. And it's not like this journey for our team specifically wasn't let's explode tomorrow, which now we're there, but it's let's just help one agent at a time, help one family at a time. And so focusing on the core, we have like the 4 core like S's on our team, and focusing on those things. In turn, when you help an agent make the most amount of money and help the most amount of families, well, guess what they do when they bring on an agent? Well, they don't just say the words a lead is a lead. No, they actually help strategize with the agent. And I think we planted the seeds. Here's your metaphor, Mark. We planted the seeds 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and they are just now blooming. And in turn, they're also planting seeds, which is an honor, a true honor. I have freaking beasts on our team. And for us, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And in turn, I think they are also recruiting the quality as well. And it's a really positive, awesome ripple effect that's happening from something that we started planning about 2 years ago.
To me, it's such a great story. I hear you say consistency and time, but for us, it wasn't about like how fast can we do this. It was about helping one agent at a time. And I literally have watched this process with you, just nurturing one agent at a time. But in a way that has, one agent at a time, but a field of dreams. Like that part is mind blowing to me because we say 3 years like it's a long time and it's really not. But
Mhm.
you are pushing board member momentum, right?
I can't believe hearing you say that. That's crazy.
You know,
Crazy.
and you literally would hire a person and just swaddle them. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And just, and to see now, like you say, you have these beasts on your team and people are, it's always been about quality. It's just well said because I literally watched it and I'm still watching it and I agree 100%. And so Mindy, with this story and with this, realization of what's taken place here, you have a bunch of people out here that are listening to this podcast. And they're going to try to tell themselves they want to do it the slow way, like Mindy Tibbs, you know? And they're going to want the harvest that you are now reaping. But I need you to walk us down this path. Let's get a little more granular because what does that look like, from one agent at a time to explosive growth to the point of not even being able to fathom how it's taken place? You know all the details. You've been in it since day one. You see it. You're watching it every single day. It just doesn't explode one day for everyone.
Hmm.
Things have
Yeah.
systems still got to be put in place. Things have to be laid down. There has to be structure. There has to be some type of development track. Walk us through this.
So just the fact that you said the agent that says I want to do this like the slow way, um, bro, if that's like you and those words are coming out of your mouth, we're probably not a good fit for each other. Like you never want to just be satisfied, obviously, with bare minimum. The core of the team and the start of the explosion has to have a match, and your match is your production. So if you think that you're just going to sit back and help 5 families a month and grow this team while the team does the work, and it's eventually going to hit one day because I'm taking time, like you're in for a huge reality check. It took like me personally breaking barriers that I could inspire and help other people. I don't say that in an arrogant sort of way. It's just doing something that makes people look and say, oh, shoot, like what's happening? What is she doing? Can I do that as well? How do you do that? Teach me. But the only way is by me showing up and working and showing the balance between motherhood and vulnerability and crappy days and running hours around Cleveland, getting home at 11 p.m., posting a picture that I hadn't seen my kid all day because I was running and I didn't even make a sale. Um, a lot of really hard days, but people only see, like you said, people only see that explosion, and it's so much more than that explosion. It is you at the core as an agent. And I am a firm believer in taking one agent at a time. Your terminology was beautiful, swaddling them, swaddling one agent at a time, because when you swaddle a baby, you look at them and you care,
Mm.
and you do everything that you can do to help that agent succeed, to care for that baby, right? Um, the only way that you can help someone succeed is by succeeding yourself. So, one, focus on your production and ensure that you are uh, worth having a team that is inspired by you. Even if you don't believe in the future team, which Mark, you and I have talked about it, you believed in me before I believed in myself. You believed in our team before I ever thought there would be one. Um, ensuring that you are worth looking up to. And two, don't underestimate the power of building one agent at a time, because you were that agent at once. And how important was it for your manager to take those phone calls, for you to call them when you were discouraged? For me, that person was Gabe. Gabe was incredible at listening to me whine about the day while I was working. By the way, I was hustling, I was working hard, but he has an incredible gift in dealing with agents and swaddling those agents one by one. And I think for a while people in FFL got obsessed with the quantity, which is cool. Like
Right.
we can obsess and explode, and there's some people that just want to be recruiting madman machines. That's fine. But if you're wanting to relate with me, where you feel like you're a one person team, or you're balancing your family and something else, but you still do want to make an impact and grow a team, don't underestimate the power of taking an agent one by one, as long as you're legitimately caring for them like you wanted to be cared for.
So, you and your 559 families, let's talk about it. You have, first off, we talked about it, but breaking the executive vice president threshold. Congratulations on that. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Praise the Lord.
And how many agents issue paid business? FFL
Come on,
Believe.
Mark. The one
You said
question.
you had your numbers, Mindy.
I know. I would say probably around 35, 40
It's more.
agents.
It's got to be more than that.
We have, well, no, I'm telling you, Gabe texted me just the other day and was like, we were looking at your team's numbers, and what the heck, you really don't have a ton of people, but what you do have is like people who are savages, pretty much.
Got it.
I'm telling you, it's right around 30.
It's more than 30.
35, 40.
I love you. God bless you.
Can we pause the podcast real quick and I look at it? Quit playing with me. Okay, hold on.
I cannot.
43.
43 month to date.
43 months to date.
Wow.
Hold on.
You sent it to me?
Let me text you a pic.
Yeah.
Why, are you doubting me?
Oh, no, I just.
I'm doubting myself, so you should.
All right, you got it. 43. Do you know what that means, Miss Mindy?
What's that?
43 agents, 559 families. Do you have any idea what that means?
Probably that we're about to triple.
Means that you're about to triple. Do you know why?
No, I don't actually.
Because there's a lot of force inside of 43 people. That means there's some torch carriers
Sure, that's a great way to look at that.
43. And that means that what is inside of probably 10 to 15 of these people is a lot, right? That has to reproduce itself, because a lot's coming out of 43. And
Sure.
because
Great
it's
way to
at
look at that.
EVP, it now makes it a lot more. I mean, look, there's been attention the whole time, but now attention has to, so we may not be able to swaddle as many anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that leadership has to take forth and take flight. And what happens is your team starts taking territory of their own, which is happening probably already. And then within the territory that they claim, it starts to reproduce.
Very true. I can see that happening.
Right? And then when that happens, boom, 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 boom. That's why I can go from where it's at right now to board member in 4 months. Just because of humans. Just because of reproduction. You know, just because, hey, I hired these many and I have the time to work with them all. And help them understand the force that we built this with, which is quality over quantity.
Yes.
Quality over quantity turns into quantity
Sure.
of quality.
Sure.
Makes sense? So
Very good.
that's what is brewing right now at FFL Believe.
Yes, sir.
I want a cup of that.
We're making a pot.
I want a
It's
bowl.
yours.
I want a bowl of that.
You're always welcome.
So when you think about that thought, and maybe that's the first time you heard that, or maybe that's the first time that's occurred to you, what does that make you think of?
It's insane. Like, it's not a podcast without me using scripture, and to him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly. Like, the only words I can think of is exceedingly abundantly. Also, when you say that from a manager's standpoint, it makes me think of, I'm not an empty nester, not even close. They're still flying in the kids. But like, when I can imagine when your kids leave the house, you hope that you did everything right. And to know now, like you said, your quality will produce quantity. All that I hope is that swaddling was worth something, and that they in turn are correctly giving what they've been given. And they actually give the care. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that they truly care, but that should intimidate people with a team, Mark, or with one or two agents, because it all started with my first agent and caring and spending quality time with them, no matter how tired you are. Being excited for their victories when you got destroyed on the field that day is difficult as well. It all started with that. So to encourage somebody, if you have that one agent, make them quality, but be quality yourself as well. And I hope and pray at this point that it is duplicated. And from the leaders that I see within our team, I think I can proudly say that they're incredible people. I mean, the word that you used gave me chills. Like, for us to have 43 writing agents in August, and it to just come from, that production to come from that much people, it is such a testament to them. You use the word force, and it gave me chills because I think of the stories of the agents on our team and what their driving factor is. And for you to use the word force is just incredible. It's just the perfect word to describe the team. And I hope they in turn also produce force within their teams as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm, again, excited to watch it unfold. Your journey's been great. The coolest thing about your journey is every time we saddle up to celebrate new growth, we crack up. I mean, we laugh so hard, our ribs touch.
My first podcast I did with you, I wasn't even thinking about recruiting, like, period. And you're like, so how many agents are you bringing on? And I'm like, I think I got 2 under me. And you're like, first of all, 2 with you. And then I like feed myself. And then they never even stuck. So it's just an awesome journey to see. I need a compilation of all these podcasts together just to watch it.
It's definitely awesome. But you're at a different place in leadership now. And, for you to be working with now other leaders. So, like you said, think about this, 2 people under you.
Hate that term now.
To working, to developing leaders. Like, that is a journey in and of itself. What are things you're doing now in a leadership position to try to develop and build leaders with you?
People change the recipe, I think, as their team gets bigger, Mark. They try to reinvent the wheel or reinvent recruiting strategies. Like, bro, like, just use what got you there. Like, just use what got your team there. And I feel like I overuse the word caring, but I'm still doing those one-on-one calls with our leaders. I'm still listening to them talk about their stressful moments or their bad days and helping coach them through their show ratio. Even massive producers on team, let's talk about your show ratio. Let's talk about what happened in your appointment. Hey, keep an eye on your agent's numbers because of this reason. Just spending quality time. You can't buy quality time. You can recruit as much cold market as you want and this and that, but what's really going to grow is you being present and spending that quality one-on-one time, being that shoulder to lean on. And just because they're leaders, sometimes they need to be swaddled as well, Mark. Like, it's a hard business. It's freaking tough. Everyone just sees the fun numbers to post, but it's incredibly difficult to build a team and to write big numbers. Like, let's not forget about that. So doesn't matter how cool someone is or how big their numbers on the board, at the end of the day, sometimes they need me to be there for them and they need me to listen to them. And that's what I'm still doing. And just copy paste, Mark. We're not reinventing the wheel over here at Believe. I've never spent $1 on cold market recruiting. I just have a good solid team, and it's because we haven't changed the recipe at all. And I don't plan on doing so either.
It's crazy. How do you, when you see somebody go from, because you guys are like elite producer city, but when you see someone go from an elite producer to wanting to build and wanting to help people and regurgitate the success they've had through others, how does that make you feel? What comes to mind, and what's the joy, I guess, or satisfaction in that?
That is the proudest thing, because I'm going through that with someone on our team right now, and they never planned on building. And when someone says that, I'm like, that's cute, because I said the same thing and you're here because I didn't put that into play.
Right.
Like, let's just remember that. So do you like your job? Oh, you like your job? Cool. That's because I built. Like, I decided to actually grow a team. Same with you. Like who's supposed to be on here? That's you. And
That's good.
seeing that, I'm going to say it, like, if you're not recruiting or posting, you're selfish. You are selfish as heck. Your bills are paid and you're cool and your family's fine, and you don't feel like sharing that with anybody else. And be careful, because he that withholdeth more than his meat tendeth to poverty. And if you're withholding
Jesus.
that opportunity from somebody else, I would beware for your own financial self. God wants to bless people through you, not just to you. So I would always be looking to recruit somebody. And when that agent finally sees that, the proudest moment watching them become leaders. That has been my favorite part of this business, is seeing my agents who are little babies, them now swaddling. I feel like a freaking grandparent. That's your metaphor for the day. I feel like a grandparent. Watching them be proud, watching them now find their fulfillment. You like that? That was just for you. Finding that fulfillment through their agents. And then I can't imagine even that third tier of people, like when they do the same. There is no greater joy within the business. I don't care how big your biggest day is. There is no fulfillment like watching your agents give somebody else this opportunity. I think people forget, Mark, where you were before FFL. I was behind a Home Depot desk. I was still looking cute in my orange apron, but I wasn't doing what we were today. Completely different, life-changing thing that you want to withhold. What if someone withheld it from you?
Right.
So I'm proud to see agents telling others about this and saying, hey, I'll spend my time with you, and I'm going to sacrifice time to swaddle you as well.
Okay, we are all swaddled up, baby.
We are all tight and cozy. You brought up the swaddling. It's the word swaddle. Now I can't get it out of my head. So thanks for that, because I've used it 10 times.
Training day with my girl Mindy Tibbs. One of one for certain. But an exceptional leader and a reproducer. of swaddles
A
across
swaddle, baby.
FFL Believe. We have done it, and you're continuing to do it. Listen, I appreciate you more than you know.
You as
It's
well.
always an honor to have you on the podcast. Thank you for what you do, and it's exciting to watch what your team's doing, man, in this scale. Can't wait to see you guys at the award ceremony if we don't see each other before then.
Me too. Thank you, Mark. You're the best.
Thank you, Mindy. Don't stop
Don't stop. Come on.
believing.
Believing.
Don't stop
There it is.
believing.
You got to get more words next time because you keep stopping there.
I don't know the rest of the song. You know what we're going to do? Next time we're going to play the song.
Please and thank you.
But
While we swaddle each other.
Peace and blessings. Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you, Mark.
God bless y'all. Keep listening. Take care. Thanks, Mindy.